Hello, everyone. I'm gonna play some little bit of music from my YouTube studio. You guys just be patient with us. We have difficulties with my guests trying to get on with their phones. They're going to go use their laptop. So give us a few more minutes. Don't go nowhere. I apologize for being late. The enemy is a lie. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause this show will go on today. So let me continue on to play some more music. God bless you guys. Thank you, Lord. Hey, Freddie. I'm here. Just playing some music right now. My guest is having trouble getting on, so they would go get their laptop. They hook up their laptop. They try to use it on their phone, and the phone is not working. But I'm here. I'm here. Just playing some music. She'll be back shortly. Good to see you. Shouldn't be too much longer, you guys. Ooh, excuse me. Sorry about that, y'all. I got the wrong height. Come on in, everyone. Come on in. Come on in. Hope you all enjoy the music. Thank you, Freddie, for thumbs me up. Appreciate it. Thanks for being patient with us, you guys. Appreciate it. I apologize for the delay. Okay, I'm here. Hello. Okay. Okay, I just said that you guys got it. Yes, there's Albert. Let me see. 1 second, everyone. Let me put it on mute. Yes. Oh, that's somebody else. Somebody else last name Brown. Somebody cooking dinner tomorrow. They last name Brown. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Oh Lord.
Like, nope, I don't see it.
Oh boy. Okay. I'm gonna send the link to the wrong person. Lord have mercy.
All right. They're gonna be like, what is this?
Right. There you go. I just sent it.
I see you now.
Okay.
All right. So now I'm about to click on the link.
Okay.
All right. So we're strolling. I'm in my office and then I'm gonna allow the cam. Allow. All right. So you see the do I need to put? You just put my name. Yeah. Albert. All right, real.
There we go.
I'm pulling you up now.
All right, I'm gonna make it bigger on my screen.
What you got to do, you got to turn off your phone. That's what
I am. I'm about to hang up
that's
with you now. I'm about to hang up with you now. Hold on.
Still look so black.
okay. Y'all good.
Okay. I'm gonna try to see both chairs. I'm actually gonna give me a second. I'm moving stuff around.
Okay.
So you can see, try and make it where you can see both of us.
Okay. Sorry, you guys. We apologize.
All right. Can you hear Albert and myself?
Hello, hello.
I can hear you real good, real clear.
Good, good.
Much better.
All right. You see Albert?
Yep, I can see both of you guys.
All right, here we are. Good, good. Okay.
Okay. Okay, welcome. You guys to meet. Close my bathroom. There we go.
Well, no, if you go over some, I mean, that's all.
All right, you can scoot over now.
Yeah, there we go.
Welcome, everyone. Again, we apologize. We was ready. We was set up. There was, and we couldn't hear. It was really low because we would have been on time. So, this is why it's Albert and his beautiful wife, Juanita Brown. And what they had to do, they had to go drive to their school. They go to school. They do. They instructors. They to teach people how to nurses aid, right?
Yes.
Nurses aid certificates. So they had to drive to their school. Laptop was they left the laptop at the school because that's where they teach us at. So, but now regardless to what we here now. So welcome to the show, Juanita and Albert, and thanks everyone for being. We really appreciate it because the topic we're going to talk about on the real table talk is real love or lust. It's a difference. So, like I said, we welcome you. I'm glad you both of you accept my invitation to talk about this. Okay, because this is something that need to be talked about. I've been talking about relationships. I really just started talking about relationships from what I've been through in my own marriage, which Juanita and Albert, you guys, I never told you guys that. You know my husband as well. So we are separated. We've been separated. When we met you guys, we were separated. We just never said nothing. So I was hoping that it would work out for us to, marriage because it was like a 40-year marriage that was going through, but it's not going to work out. So we tried to just be friends. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause we do have adult children. And we do have, 10 grandchildren. So we decided to, set apart. Pardon me?
And a dog.
Yeah, and the dogs. Was the dog gonna go with him? That's why I reached out to you guys. I want to get another one though in the future. Okay, but this setting is not about us. I just want to make sure you guys knew, because you guys probably didn't see him, probably won't know where he was. But like I said, we only friends and stuff, and I still take him to his appointment he have to go to for right now. Anyway, so and the reason why I brought this discussion up because I've been watching a lot of different videos on relationships and stuff, and people actually going through a whole lot. People actually go through with by being married still and having somebody on his side that who they think they in love with. You know what I'm saying? And I know once you got somebody on the side who you think you in love with, is it really love or it's a lust? You know what I'm saying? It said, oh, my alarm going off. That's my alarm time for me to get up for work. Yeah. So what's your guys what can you say about, the real love? It's a real love or it's with you guys being married, for many years and
Well, we
Give me your thoughts on it.
Albert go first, and then I'll chime in after he has spoken, so that we can hear both of our perspectives. Okay. So you go ahead and go.
Well, a little thing about it is that we're celebrating 4 years this year of marriage. We haven't been married a long time to each other, but we've been together 6 years and been married 4. Going on, this is our second marriage. So there is love after love. So be encouraged with that. And so next thing is that to answer your question is that about if you are stepping outside of your marriage. And is that love or lust? Well, one thing is twofold. Biblically, speaking, no, that's not love. And the reason why I will say that, and in the natural, that's not love, is because in a marriage, you get the good, the bad, and the ugly. Okay, and so when you would marry, but when you go outside your marriage. That person, all that person giving you is the good. You're not going to somebody who's getting on your nerves. You're not going to somebody who ain't, cooking. You're not going to somebody that has those little itty bitty. The Bible says it's the small foxes that get divided. And so that means is that it's an itty bitty that get on each other's nerves. Like, whether it's me not opening the candles or her having her clothes around the room. But none of that stuff matters when you're going off to someone else, because that person ain't trying to cause you any stress, or they get all your good.
They're expecting your company.
Yeah, and they're getting the company.
They're preparing themselves to give you all of their attention. And when you're in a relationship, like one of our battles is he wants more time. But if I'm doing something for one of the kids or out with them, he's like, hey, I want my wife. But if you're going to date someone, it's somebody you're just messing with on the side, they're waiting on you. You never run into those issues that you run into with in a marriage, because you're not married. You're not really connected. It's not a real connection. Connection is when you've linked together, you have a bank account together, you own a home together, you own a business together, when you're doing things together day in and day out. Lust is just temporary. You go there, it's a 30-minute pleasure, maybe an hour or two at a time, but you have to go back home at some point. And if you're married, you're going back to your wife. And now you're living with a lie, because you really can't face your husband or your wife eye to eye. Feeling that you're giving them your all, the 100% that you think that you can give them. You're not giving it to them. Because you're giving some of that to someone else.
And not only that, when you're married, especially if you're married and you in that thing to death do your part, if that's your mindset, as long as there's really no cheating, beating, stuff like that going on, you're going to get on it. You're going to have good days and bad days. You're going to get on each other's nerves. You're not going to always like your mate. You know what I'm saying? Like there's going to be some times you're going to wonder, why did I even marry this person or whatever? But this is a natural part of being married, because you got to grow with each other. You got to learn one another and all that. But when you're with someone outside of your marriage and you're meeting this person, and you think you're talking about, we talk about everything and we connect on a whole nother level. And that sounds good in hindsight. But when as we all know, when the poop hit the fan, you don't get that from that person, because you can go, what, at the end of the day, you might, I go back to my wife. I don't need this from you. You're not committed to that person. You can really, there's an out, and you always know a side piece. It's an out. It's just, really, if they start getting on your nerve too much, hey, if your wife don't know about it or your husband don't know about it, at the end of the day, you know what? I can just go back to my wife. If I got to go through all this with you, I might as well go home. Really. And so therefore, that's what it is. That person, like, okay, see, so that's not a real relationship if there's an out. When you're married and really trying to be married, there's not an out. You shouldn't be thinking about the exit door or divorce.
And unless I think you're getting a fake person, you're not getting a real person. Because when you first meet someone, you want to give a good impression. So I think that you're put on a front, because it's like I said, it's temporary company, and they're going to go back home. So in a marriage, you get the good, like I said, the good and the bad. You're going to see the good and the ugly. You're going to see me at my worst. When I'm probably throwing an adult tantrum, things of that nature. But you're going to see me when I'm at my happiest too. So that's the part of being married
Right.
and the difference in lust. And lust, you typically just, it's all good until it goes bad. Till someone finds out that you're
Right.
cheating, you know, and then you got a
Right.
whole scenario that now you have to deal with this. You know, this is the reality.
Mhm.
The reality has come out. Okay, it's no more the imaginary
Mhm.
world. You have this perfect little piece over here. Now it's out and it has to be addressed. Because 9 times out of 10, a husband and wife isn't going to put up with you having a side piece, you know, unless this is your mutual agreement that you are doing this. But most marriage, which is kind of some new stuff, you know, kind of out here. But most marriages, we want commitment to just each other, you know, like we do,
Right.
you know.
Right. Right.
Yeah, so I think
and I know that's good. Y'all gave some really, really, really good points. Really good points. And something that need to be, you know, heard. Because it's when you out there lusting, it's only good for a moment.
That's it. That's it.
For a moment. Temporarily. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna last forever. You know what I'm saying? But like you said before, then you have to go back home to face your wife or face your husband, knowing that you know, out there lusting. But and lusting not just having sex.
Right.
Your thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Looking at another individual is lusting. Let me ask you another question. I had seen this, you know, also on some other videos that I had been watching as well. That sometimes they think that, you know, that you can be in love with two people. And I think it's impossible.
Oh.
I think you could be in love with two people. You know what I'm saying? You in love with your wife.
Yeah.
And then you in love with your mistress. You know what I'm saying? What is lust?
I guess I'll let me speak on this one.
Yeah,
we both will. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I think it's not love. I think you may have a mutual like for both of them. At this point, you're loving neither one of them because that's not love. Okay. I think what happens is greed steps in, and you want both the women, and you don't want. A lot of times we don't want to choose. You know, that's like going. I'm gonna use shoes for. I love shoes. Sometimes I see a shoe that I really like, and I see it in 2 different colors. What? That's Alexa talking. Sorry. I guess Alexa has an input. Sometimes I can't decide what color. You know what I mean? So I'm battling which color I want. It's not that I'm in love with both these shoes. You know, I love the shoe, but I'm not really in love with it because I just want the shoe. So I end up buying both colors. And that's a problem because now I can only wear one of them. Okay.
Right.
So when you got 2 women on your arm, it's no way you can love both of them because you can't give both of them 100% of you because you're giving a part of yourself to the other. So they may get 50. This one might get 50. That one might get 50. And you're cutting yourself short because you're missing out. That person's missing out on 50% of your life, and you're missing out on 50% of your life. You should be giving that person your all. I've seen people back in the days, they've had 2 families. You know, a man has had a family here and a family there. And then at the end result, when the children grow up, there's some bitterness because dad stayed in this home and didn't spend enough time in this home, you know? So you can't, that's not love. That's brokenness. You're broken. You know, so go ahead. You got something to say?
So I'm going to play the devil's advocate, okay? I totally agree with my wife, okay? But I do have another perspective. Okay, because we use the word when we use the word can't. A lot of times most time when you use the word can or any. A lot of times that's a false statement. I truly believe that you could love. There's many different types of love. Period. Now, is it agape love? Is it the love that God wanted us to love one another? But I do believe you can love more than one person. And so I want to go to the movie.
Love.
Right. Watch. I want to go to the movie. Denzel and it's a Denzel Washington movie, The Fences. I think it's The Fences. Denzel Washington was with a woman, his wife actually, and they was married at least a good of 16, 17, 20 years. Okay. And Denzel did step outside his marriage and ultimately created a child in the movie with another woman. Now, the thing was, the other woman died. And hear me, in this movie, I'm talking about the movie makes you, and I'm a Denzel fan, but Denzel played this movie so good, played his role so good that
it actually was a play.
That he made you dislike him very much so. Anybody, you just had to leave the movie saying, ooh, he was a terrible type guy. He had to, but when the woman died, even with his wife standing there, Denzel had a moment where you could see that he loved that woman. I mean, it was undeniable to me that he loved that woman. I mean, he needed a moment when she passed. I mean, his knees got weak. And so what I am saying is, all things, you shouldn't even went there. When you're married, had he not opened that door, then this question would never come up. The problem is, that's what I'm saying. So I believe you can love two people, but should you? Can you be in love? The problem is, this is the problem, is that what we do is we open up doors that should never be open. And that's it. Yeah. And that goes as far as folks with all this new stuff. Okay. Back in my days, the time, not that I'm an old guy, I'll be 48, the Lord's will, next month. But women just didn't allow their husbands to do anything. Like for instance, let's just say, like the strip club, for instance. You can sit and, if you was gonna go, you snuck to the strip club, or if she did say go, she gave you $20 or something, or whatever, and that was it. But now, that's the new thing is, the girlfriend or the wife is at the strip club with the man. And the woman they get their husband's lap dances, and they open up all these new doors.
Yeah.
And then the woman feel like, okay, when you find out they're together, everybody like, I wonder how that happened. Well, see, we open up all these doors, these doors, and so when you open up Pandora's box, or you open up in a sinful nature, you will fall into a sinful nature. And so therefore, like I said, you are being separate. You are separate. You're loving more, and like she mentioned back in the days. And we, unfortunately, we've heard it where men had two whole families. You're not going to tell me that this man is in Texas and in Ohio. He's literally taking care of them, raising them. I just can't believe that he's not loving them. No, maybe he's not doing it correctly. Maybe it's wrong, but he's raised them. He's taking care of them, and in the end, it seems like everybody knew, and that which is also bad. And but. I say he loves him, but he's not doing it right, and that door should have never been open for him to do that. That's, I believe, for many of us, especially our people, we had to learn how to love one another and ourselves again, because that's it. To know that, okay, you don't have to get married, but if you choose to get married, then that means you choose to forsake all others, and that's just it. So me and my wife, we talked about a lot of those funny, things and different scenarios, but there's certain things that we had to decide on. Okay, well, if Albert, so I'll point to me, Albert, if you wanted a harem of women, you probably should have did that before you got married. So I can't think like that now. Well, I could have had me a harem. I can't keep bringing, I could have had a harem, or well, that sounds good, but since I'm married now, I ain't gonna have no harem. That's it. So that's it. That's what we have to think about. You can't entertain foolishness. That's it. Whatever you all people do it before you say I do. Yeah, do that.
And then
because, so that's my take on it. But I do believe you could be, but like I said, from the beginning, that's not God's plan. That's not how God wanted to be. Because of sin, that's just how it is.
Yes. And I think also when you marry or you dating somebody, when you think about marrying that person, you should never hide that person. You know what I'm saying? Because we got a lot of people don't show their wives or husband on their Facebook pages or their Instagram, whatever website they have. They don't show them. They want to hide them. Right. So if you hiding that person, you telling that person that you, or they even might get their Facebook status or whatever status they single or divorced.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing you not. That's another way that you are opening up doors, let people know that you are single.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's funny that you bring that up, because me and Albert was just talking about that today, and I said, we don't post each other on our page like we did when we first got together. I said somewhere we dropped the ball, and he was like, well, he said, babe, life happened. Now we do say like the special holidays, happy sweetest day to my wife, or happy sweetest day to my husband, or his birthdays, those special occasions. But we noticed that, I just happen to say, we don't post each other on our pages like we used to. And he was like, babe, like just really? And that's something we need to pick up. We do it, but like when it's holidays or
we used to do it more. But the thing is,
right,
we've been focusing on getting FirstStep STNA program.
Right, our business, so life started happening.
So people like, so I know you said you see us, but like you'll see us. We have
on vacation.
We have businesses, so we're trying to build. We're being kingdom minded, building up our kingdom, and so therefore we own and operate FirstStep STNA program, but we also own and operate Darlene's Darlings, which is our poodle thing. So we have those two businesses. So a lot of times what people see is like we always selling something or we're marketing, but not us and our being in love. You only see us doing that when we kind of go on vacation.
We're on vacation, right? And before the business, we used to do that a lot, So, and I was just saying, we need to start, we need to put that back into our relationship, because being married is not easy. I don't always agree with Albert. Albert doesn't always agree with me, and sometimes we butt heads more often than we probably should. But at the same time, we pray. We keep God in this, and we hold. And when we can't hold on to each other because of each other, we have to hold each other because of Him. And at that point, He'll get us back there, because feelings don't always be the same. They change. They go back and forth. One day I don't always love this man, but I love him even when I don't love him. When I think I don't, I still love him, because let me be so angry at him, like, oh, I can't stand him, and he go out there and something happen to him. I'm gonna forget about I was angry. That's going out the window. Whatever we was arguing about before, it no longer exists. You see what I mean? It's all about what happened, and how can I get my husband back together, or vice versa.
And I believe in any marriage, it should be forgiveness. I believe in any marriage, it shouldn't be going around dogging your spouse to other people. You know what I'm saying? I believe in a marriage, it should be just strong love, period. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, if you got God in front of your marriage or your relationship that you are in, it's going to blossom. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to, like you said, it's not going to be easy. No marriage, no relationship is easy. But I do believe if God is in front. Yes. Sometimes I believe if God is in front, a marriage will last. If God's in front. You know what I'm saying? So I know, as this one right here, because I'm going to get married again someday. Someday. Yeah. I'm not going to be.
That's right.
I'm just praying that God to bring the right, whoever God will put in my life, what I'm saying, that he has to know that he got to have God. He got to have God into our marriage, because this marriage is going to last forever until God separates us. Not us separating us. God's going to separate whoever God put in my life this time.
I like to share that to whoever into our little video, our little audience. When you get married, it can no longer be about the individual. It has to be about the team, each other. And so I like to say that you had to pick. It took however many years that you have been on the earth. You're still evolving and you're still learning yourself. And you need to first realize that. You need to realize that I'm still evolving. I'm still learning who I am. So we can't be as hard on our partners because they don't know everything about us. It takes time to learn that. So what I teach my own children is that when you choose to be with someone, you choose to also pick up the book. So I had to pick up the book of Juanita. So that as soon as you and read this book, study the book. I need to know everything I can about my mate. I need to learn her past, her present. I need to learn what makes her tick. I need to learn. So that's like literally your daily homework for the rest of your life. Why? Because this book is very complex. At least my book is, and it changes, and you have to you got to stay up on your reading, stay up on your of that person, and not only that. I feel that married couples also shouldn't get too comfortable, meaning that you ought to date each other. And it is not just a man's job. It's a woman also to say, hey, come on home. I got something for you to, and take you out and with a meal and food. Because I don't know a lot of women. Yeah. We like to, we like to sit down and be taken out every now and then. It is nice. It is nice.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So I think if you both are planning things and doing stuff, if you have each other in your mind first, then I think that it will last. And definitely God first. But if you get as far as a marriage couple, if you have each other, like, okay, what can I do to please my mate, or what can I do not to irritate my mate? Because a lot of times it ain't just about pleasing them. Sometimes it's what we do just to irritate them, which changed the whole day because you didn't did this particular thing to irritate them. And if it's in your power to change that irritant, I think that you ought to at least make an effort to do it. You know what I'm saying? And because we're reading the book. I should have brought the book.
It's a book called His Needs and Her
Needs. Yeah. And
so
it says that.
It's a little work assignment behind it. So even we even have to work at what we have, just so it can stay strong as possible and to survive. Like again, the topic is about lust. When it's someone you're lusting for, you're not striving really to keep that relationship because it takes no effort. But a phone call, hey, I'm coming over. What you doing? Where you at? I'm gonna meet you. It's like going to the playground. And then you play around. You go back home and clean up, and you go back to your chores and whatever it is you got to do to maintain home. But that person doesn't care if you lose your house or your vehicle. So when it's lust, especially if they they know from the get go that I'm your side piece. But then I get upset after so much time. I start developing feelings. Now I want you all to myself. So now I'm about to let your wife know in some kind of manner, or your husband know in some type of manner, because I want to split up what y'all have. Well, then you don't care about that person because now you're tearing up what they built, and that's your own fault because you allowed. And it takes years to build and to come back. And like I said, we've been married before, own homes and everything. I mean, literally. And starting over is not easy, and especially as you get older. Because you're running out of time. I feel like I'm on borrowed time here now. I'm not in my 20s or 30s anymore, And so I'm starting over now with all these things I had accumulated that took me 20 years to accumulate. Now I'm starting over at 40, and it's going to take me another 20 years to accumulate what I already had. But I love that because of some foolishness. For a moment of pleasure, and that pleasure turns.
As you get older, you mature. Right. As you got older, you mature a whole lot. When you young, you did things stupid because you was young. That's what young people do. Young people do stupid things. But as you get older and mature and start looking at life, and you see all the mistakes that you had made. You know what I'm saying? So you try to correct those mistakes. But sometimes it might be too late. You know what I'm saying? As
it was when I first married, it was too late. I was like, we're done. I'm done. I can't do this with you. And I literally left everything. I made a firm decision. I own 2 homes. Let both of them go. I let everybody, you can have it all. All I want is my sanity. And this is the house that I care about. So I left everything. Only thing I took was my clothes and my mama. Okay. And the stove and refrigerator because I had to cook for. Okay. I'd have left that too. But with that being said, I left everything that I worked years to obtain, and that was not an easy decision. But I had to decide: is these things worth what this man has done? And it was lust. He stepped out on lust, and then he's not with the woman that he cheated with. You know what I mean? So That you literally lost a whole wife, a whole life, and everything that we obtained for this lust that's no longer there in your life.
And to piggyback off that, I like to add this, especially for my men. It seems like sometimes we are definitely we fall into this a little bit, pray more. When we think about going outside our marriages, a lot of times what people do in general, we always think of the good, and this has helped me really. I mean, anyone, male or female, you think of the good, like, you know, even like if you're gonna rob a bank, you think about all the money. You don't think about what can go wrong in between the bank robbery. You don't think if the cops show up or the trip. You don't think it gets shot,
this
get killed.
This could go bad.
And so I will encourage the men or women to ask ask the one that you about to cheat with. If my whole world fell apart, once my wife finds out, you got to understand that this is another thing. Everything's immediate. It ain't like you like when this happens. You know, like you got a month, 2. No, it's an immediate thing. So when my wife finds out today and puts me out today, and I lose everything today, where are you gonna be, Miss Side Piece? And you'll learn, and you'll learn well, I got a man, or well, they won't be there for you. See, so it was so easy to sneak and hide, duck, and all that good stuff while you was lusting and doing all that stuff. But when the chips get down and now you have nothing and you got to start over, where is that to be? And that's the part that you need to know. You need to quit thinking about the ooh and I. We getting too old for ooh and I. Okay,
right?
When you get caught. Yeah, when you get caught, and so many people have done it, men and women, and see people don't, even with the women, and now you getting put out that night on the street, and you can't show up to that man's house. Why? Because he got a wife. Or you want to show up to his house and you knew he had a wife. So these are the things. Now you gonna get him with you both gonna be outside, okay? Because he getting put out when you show up, and you've been put out. So that's the whole thing. It's too much. And so we don't think like that. Everybody got to quit thinking about the moment, the good stuff. You need to think, okay, well, if this thing goes south, like millions, and that's the other thing we got the mind. Oh, it'll never happen to me. No, obviously, there's been millions the divorce lawyers is getting paid. So obviously, millions of people have been caught. They done made whole TV shows cheaters. So obviously, we ain't that slick as human beings. So hey, when this comes out, where you gonna be? I think that should be your thought process.
And if you are out there, you have a wife or a husband, and you out there lusting, have a side piece. As Albert was saying, you better prepare for the worst. You better put some money to the side, because you better know that the longer this thing continues, at some point it's going to come out. Somebody's going to find out. They say, what goes on the dark comes to the light, and it's been a known fact. This is true, And then not only that, you're not really just cheating. You think I ain't hurt, as long as she don't know I'm not hurting, or as long as he doesn't know I'm not hurting him. Yes, you are, because there are things that can happen. You got disease out here. You catch that, you give to her or him, you just hurt them. Okay?
Exactly.
You just hurt them. She gets pregnant, and now you got this baby. Either you're gonna keep this baby a secret for the rest of his life, or you're gonna have to let her know, or him know.
Right.
And you just hurt them. So it's not true to say, as long as you don't know, it won't hurt her. That's not true. It's still hurting them. They just don't know that they're being hurt at that moment. But the hurt it's gonna come. It's at some point it's gonna come. And you're not only tearing up your relationship with that person that you're involved with or committed to, you're also gonna tear up other relationships, such as your relationship with your children, what you've been teaching them, how to treat mom or how to treat daddy, And then they found out you done went out and crept out on mama and crept out on daddy. Now the child's feelings is involved. And that they're affected even more so than the parents because they're a part of you. And so now they feel disgusted. They feel like I'm a part of you. You cheat on mama. You make me feel like I cheated on mama or daddy. You know, they betrayed their parent, and they had nothing to do with it. I'm sorry.
Right.
Yeah. So
I said a lot of relationships
they're affected by this comes out.
I'm ready to say that.
A whole lot of relationships just by something that you had no business going after in the first place.
Yep. Families get broke down. That's so true. But you know, the good thing about it is, it's not a good about it, but it's lesson learned. You know what I'm saying? Learn from your mistakes.
Yes.
Don't do the same thing you did, you know, in your past relationship. You know what I'm saying? Let that go. Leave it behind you. And let your new relationship be the best. Okay? Don't do the same. Don't bring the baggage, your old baggage into
That's right.
Once it's over and it's gone, it's over and it's gone.
You definitely gotta. You definitely gotta
stop.
You
know what I'm saying? We got to forgive each other. You know, in my relationship, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't perfect in my relationship, and you know, and neither was he. We both, you know, did things to each other, hurt each other. You know what I'm saying? But life moves on. I'm going on with my now. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I just put it like that. You know what I'm saying? It's all in the hands of.
You have to be able. I'm sorry. You have to be able to forgive yourself, and forgive them. And that's the only way you're going to move on healthy. Now, if you want to, I know some people that have broken up with someone and it's been 10, 20 years and they still upset with that person. Well, you're giving that person power over your life. I'm not upset with him at all. You know, I can see him and speak and keep it moving, you know. But you just have some people that just hold on to that anger and that hate. Well, if you leave something, leave all that too. If you decide to stay, leave all that too, because you're not gonna make it if you keep bringing it up and keep keep throwing it in their face at every chance you get. You're not gonna make it. So if you're gonna do that, you might as well leave it and move on. So you got two choices: stay and leave it and move on, or leave it and move on. Those are your two choices. Right. Healthy. That's the healthiest way you can move on. Otherwise, you're ruining yourself in any relationship you come into in the future.
If you constantly bring it up, constantly talk about things happened 30, 40 years ago, it's not gonna last. So like you said, it's best to
tired of hearing the same old. You know, you get tired of hearing the same story, you know, over and over and over, you know, at every argument, you know. It becomes draining, and then when a person becomes drained, they don't have nothing left to give.
Right.
See my camera.
Right.
Hey, which one is that? That's
the
mommy.
Yes. This is the ones that know who I had Red Bear. Y'all see me walking Red Bear sometime. This is Red Bear breeders, and that's Red Bear's mom right there. So they breed puppies. They breed puppies, and they got their own school. You know, anybody that wants to be a nurse's aide up in Cleveland area, I believe. And that
Lorain.
Okay, Lorain. Yep. Contact them. You know, they got a Facebook page. They both got their own separate Facebook page, where you see both of them on each other pages. Showing their school, showing their puppy. So it's wonderful. You can contact them if you live in that area. If you want to be a nurse's aide, they are there. So I used to be a nurse's aide years ago.
Thank you for the shout out. Yeah. Thank you.
I wanted to be a nurse back in my younger days, and that's when my kids were small. I just stopped going to nursing school because good job to me at the time. It was a good job. It came through. And I needed money right then and there. So I stopped going to nursing school and went to work. And I wish I would have, stayed into it. Now I do. I hate I made that. That was a wrong decision, back then. But it was the right decision to me at the time. But I wish I would have stayed in it. Right now, I'll probably be a nurse. I've been like in my almost 30 years being a nurse. If I would have stayed in that field.
Yeah. And that's it, like you said, but you learn, you move on, and it's all right. It's all right.
Yeah, and then too, if that's what God wanted you to be, that's where you would have been. Clearly, that wasn't where He wanted to place you. He needed you in where He placed you at the time. And so you got to remember that too. A lot of times we beat up on ourselves because we didn't do things the a more appropriate way that could have made our life a lot easier or what have you. And it's because it wasn't His plan.
Right.
It was, what I mean? That wasn't His plan for us to do what we wanted. It's His plan is for us to do what He put us here to do, and that's to serve Him. And He's going to place us where He wants us, whether we want to be there or not.
Amen. Amen. Well, this was a wonderful, wonderful topic. Thank both of you for your input. You know what I'm saying? It's a real love. It's a lust because it's a difference. And as we know, it is a difference.
There's a difference.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Be connected with your mate. Respect your mate, show your mate love. And then this is what I want to throw out as well before we end. And then when you do break up, I want to bring up this. I don't know if you guys know this Derek Jackson, whatever his last name is. He's a relationship coach. Had got caught into a scandal on.
I didn't know him, but I heard about it. And then his wife.
I just found out about it when I heard it. And the good thing, people talking down on him, stuff like that. But I don't talk down on no marriage. You know what I'm saying? And they really talk down on his wife because she's taking him back. And one thing I admire about her, because regardless of what her husband did to her, I guess he cheated on her for 12 years, whatever. And regardless of what he did to her, she still loved her husband, and she do not talk about him at all.
Right.
She not say nothing bad or negative about her husband at all. She's there standing by her husband. She probably was hurt, behind the scenes.
Of course.
But she knows this. And that's what I admire about her, because she's not talking about him. A lot of marriage, you see break up, they want to dog each other. They want to come on this internet, pull the person down to tear up their character. You know what I'm saying? Right. And so that's one thing I can say about that. So I would never talk about a marriage, because I don't know what God or whatever is doing in that marriage.
Right.
I believe God's going. He's already, well known, and where he made a mistake at, what I thought. I mean, looking at watching his videos, because he got some good stuff out there, and I bought a few of his books, as well. So I want to see what he's talking about. His books.
And that's okay.
Go ahead.
And all I was going to say was, sometimes people can give good advice, but sometimes they just don't follow it themselves. And that may be that maybe that's what he was doing. He was able to give this good advice, but he just wasn't following it himself. And that's what they're seeing. And I also want to say this: it is not easy to stay or leave when someone has betrayed you. Okay, so I give her 100%. I pat her on the back, because that takes strength to stand up and face that person every day that has betrayed you countless times for 12 years, and was able, and to me, that would do something to me inside. How could I have not seen this? How could I have not known this? And it is possible. So at that, she's got to deal with some stuff. She's probably blamed herself for not seeing, and also blamed him for doing what he's done. But it takes a lot of energy to forgive that and to move on. And I like the fact that he's not letting the media decide her fate. if she should stay with him or leave.
Yep.
It's not her choice. She said I
Yep.
do. They did not.
She said, mm-hmm. I tip my hat to her.
Yeah, so
You
no
know,
one should judge her for the topic. Yeah, just because she's in the media, right?
I think
And
that,
she would not. She would not do it at all.
right.
I tip my hat up to her. That's how it should be.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what you go through in your marriage.
Mm-hmm.
You should never come onto the platform and talk about your spouse.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Right. And I agree. I definitely agree with that, period, because I think a lot of times when people do that, everyone has an opinion. Always. You know, and everybody just want to give their opinion. And but you don't know what that person, like you said, going through. You don't know some people what they value. You know, some people don't value nothing. And breaking up is nothing. But some people took their marriage vows seriously. And although, you know,
right.
This is constitutes under God's law and man's, in which he could get a divorce. But a lot of times, like we said, sometimes, you know, like I said, that might not be, and I'm just being honest, that might not be her deal breaker. Everyone has to know their deal breaker. That's right. Really, you know. Right. I mean, cheating might not, you know, that might not have been a big thing in her mind. You know, like, okay, as big as we make it, we put, like, for instance, even in my class, and you know, in Sunday school class or in period, we list sin. We'll say, okay, oh, you a murderer. Oh, you a rapist. Okay, you a pedophile. And these supposed to be the biggest things. Okay, but when Jesus was laying on the cross between a liar and a thief, a liar or a thief is not going to tarry in my sight. So he was letting you know there's no big sins, little sins, and you know, like that, because that's what we do. A thing is a sin, and so whatever it is, but you don't want to know that maybe, like, for instance, I can't tell a liar all day. You can't tell the truth to save your life, but you ain't a cheater. See, so you don't, whatever she can, that's her husband, that's their relationship. Now you just have to recognize what you can take and what crosses, what lines that you are not willing to cross or have crossed. And I think everybody needs to set those boundaries up for themselves, and that needs to be discussed before you get married. I mean, really, this is gonna sound funny, but I know one of the things I told her, look here, not that, you know, I can't fight what I'm saying, but look, you ain't gonna be beating me, okay? I don't want to be a battered husband. So there are some women who like to fight. There's women who like to, you know, I'm just, hey, who want, I'm just being honest. You ain't gonna be, I don't want to be a battered husband. I don't want to be in a marriage where we gotta fight. Okay, so, you know, if you like to fight, I'm not the guy. But I've dated women who say, oh, you know, I like a thug, or I need somebody to slam me down. I don't want to slam you down, okay? I want you to act like an adult, okay, and sit down somewhere. I don't want to have to put my hands on you. I ain't got to prove I'm a man. I got a penis. That's it. That made me a man. That's it. So I ain't got to prove nothing to you. You should be an adult. Sit down. So you got to know what you get, what you going, where you're lying at, and you got to say, and that needs to be discussed, really. So that, and don't wait till you get married and then all of a sudden, oh, well, I won't go tell. No. And that's another thing. Before we had to go, I don't know why they took away marriage counseling before. Like, they used to be a prerequisite, but you needed to go see, you know, like do a 6-week course with someone. And I think anyone who's looking to get married really needs to go to a counselor, you know, and just talk about things prior. It needs to be, you know, flat out things prior. What you like, what you don't like, this, because a lot of times, like I said, we are microwavable society, and everybody just want to go on an impulse, emotion, and this is the thing to do. No, marriage is a serious thing, and so you need to be very serious and explain to because you don't know. This is a serious thing. It's a sacrifice, and so. You know, I think they need to bring that back.
I learned a lot.
You give up some things.
I learned a lot
for some
marriage. I learned a lot.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What you saying?
Oh, I was saying it's a sacrifice. You give up some things for some things. Okay. You give up being single for someone to be there at home when you get home at night. You know. When I say like clubbing and all of that, you can't be clubbing and your husband at home in bed, or your husband in the club and your wife at home. You know, you're not spending time together. You know, now unless y'all going to the club together, you know, that's one thing.
Together.
You know, and you're going home together. You know, but if you're here and I'm here, and this is where you go every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and I'm at home every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, when are we spending time together? You know, so you got to give up some things to gain some things. You know.
Yeah. I agree 100%.
And you can't stay. And you can't stay where you are.
Yeah.
Because I had a good friend. You know, we both, I said, on our second marriage, but he's not married. But one thing is, and I had a couple of friends who literally got divorced for staying where they are. I had one, the male, his wife wanted to stay in the club, and she would use that. Where you met me in the club, and his response was so perfect. He said, "Baby, that was a house, a cat, 3 kids, and a dog ago, and you still being, you know, you still want to be in the club. So you ought to grow. You need some maturity. You still trying to say, well, you met in the club, and this is gonna be me. No, okay." Yes, we used to go. That's something we used to do. Right. But I'm trying to evolve, you know, and that's it. You need to grow with your mate. And then, you know, I have another guy, you know, once again, well, who put his foot down, you know who I am, but he made joke. He was a drinker, and it was sad because alcoholism, you need to look at whatever, you know, that you got. And his wife really had a problem with him drinking. Really had a problem with him drinking. And, you know, and maybe she didn't know how bad it was when they was dating, but it had got bad. And she addressed, and she said, "Look here, I need for you to do something." And he made a joke about it, but that joke was like the straw that broke the camel's back. He told her, he looked her dead in the face and said, "Baby, I ain't gonna drink no more." And that really warmed her heart. I mean, she was like, "He hears me." But then right when she put that little smile, he said, "But I ain't gonna drink no less either." And so and that's terrible. I ain't gonna drink no more, but I ain't gonna drink no less either. And so she had to make a decision.
That was a deal breaker for her at that point.
And she made a decision to pick her.
Yeah, she picked
herself. And because, you know, and he still drinks. So that's the thing. I really think that we have to realize that we can't stand on a soapbox and saying, "Well, this is me, okay, and this is who I am, or this is what I ain't gonna do." Then don't get married. Don't get married because you ain't gonna change. You gotta grow together. You really do, and you gotta try to understand each other and see both sides of the coin. But all this lusting and this wanting, you know, longing, you have to know. I mean, you just have to know that's a trick of the enemy, and I just want people to understand that it is. It's a trick. It really is, and so.
The devil knows what you want. He gonna put it right in your face because he wants you to grab that bait. You know, he gonna put that flat stuff, whatever your wife don't have, he gonna put it in front of you. Whatever your husband don't have, he gonna put it in front of you.
Right.
You know, he's gonna put it right there. That guy with that 6-pack, or the guy with all the money. You know, he got bankroll, or the guy with that, you know, that nice house, or the girl with the big butt and the nice curves, or the girl with the real long hair, or you know. Whatever it is, he gonna put it in your face because he wants you to take that bait.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, you know, and it's up to you to decide. You know, is what I have at home is more than enough. It's more than enough.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, so that's what you have to decide.
This was so wonderful. And like I said, I love this couple right here. When I first met them a few months ago, you know what I'm saying? And I just watched y'all.
Like January, December?
Yes, no, because I got the dog in December.
December.
But we met before then.
Well, we then or November because Red Bear was only a few weeks old when I first seen Red. when you first brought them there. So we're up in there. But anyway, like I said, I watched you guys a whole lot. You guys continue on to doing what you guys doing, because you never know who's watching you, who's gonna make behind you guys, because your relationship is to me is so wonderful. I just love it. That's why I asked you guys can come up because you guys, are a blessing to me, because even though, like I said, I'm getting a divorce, our divorce should be final in May, a few more months. And once God, brings somebody else into my life, I'm going to know how to treat this next husband. I want this next husband to know how to treat me as well. Because like I said, I learned a whole lot from my marriage. So I know what to do and what not to do. And even when I started this real talk, this real table talk on relationships, a lot of people say, what you talking about relationships for? Your own marriage and work. That's a lot I can say.
It's okay.
That's a lot.
You know what? We both want to say something. Go ahead. When you've been through something, just because a marriage didn't work the first time,
come on,
or it doesn't work maybe even the second time, doesn't mean you don't have any input. Matter of fact, you may have more input to put out there, so people can learn from you. So when someone says, what you got, what do you have to offer? You got plenty to offer. Matter of fact, you probably got more to offer than the relationships that actually work and survive.
Right.
Because basically, this marriage survived 50, 60 years. Here you got a 6-year marriage or a 3-year marriage, and they trying to get there. You got some information that you could give them to tell them not to do. Right. And you know how many times we tell like, don't get pregnant young. Finish high school. That's right. Go to college. And then they don't listen. Or they do listen. So you got input to put out there and give.
I was gonna say the exact same thing. So she's all up in my head. I was gonna say the same thing as far as with the children, because see, we're able to share with our children or tell our kids don't get pregnant early or stay in school. But why? Because we've been there. We've been through something, and so I said, it's our second marriage. Okay, why? Because we've been through something. Okay, so now you're so we're able to tell you when you get out this marriage to take time to heal. I'm gonna be able to tell you to take yourself and go and start dating yourself. You know why? Because I did it. I went to restaurants for myself and I movies by myself. I took myself to a concert, and let me tell you, you need to, if you ask people, and this is really crazy, but when you ask people, have you ever went to the movie by yourself, or have you ever took yourself to a fancy restaurant by yourself? They say no. Why? Because that feels weird. What? It feels weird being with you? Yeah. It feels weird. So you got to learn how to love you so you can teach somebody how to love you. Okay? And that's the whole thing. When you go through this, learn that. Learn what you like. Because a lot of times you have been married, it's been y'all. And so learn what you like. You don't know what you like. Learn what you like, where you want to go, how you like it. Learn these things. That way you will be able to take that to the next marriage. Also, I encourage healing, prayer, meditation, heal, because like you said, you will inadvertently take things into your next relationship. And that is a very hard thing, because there's a lot of times even in our own marriage that I got to realize, she's not hurt. And I got to realize that she has we both had, I was married like 13, 14 years. She was married 18 years. So we had a whole life before us. So there's some things that she liked to do or was doing, and there's some things I was doing. And now we have to bring all this together. But you have to first identify that, man, somebody had a whole life. You've been married, like you said, y'all together all that time. You had a whole life with somebody. That's not going to go away because you get divorced in May. That's not going to go away.
Your experience isn't going to go away.
So you can't say, like, he ain't like, what? Your next guy might, well, don't bring up this McDonald's or bring up Poconos and stuff. Well, you might have been. I mean, but you can go again with someone new. It's new experience. So you learn this. So you have a whole lot to give. But more so is you're gonna be your own healer. How you came over. That's the old song. How I came over. That's what you have. That's what I would want you to teach her how you made it through. Because right now you're going through. But if you keep going, you'll come out as pure gold. But you got to go through it. And that's a beauty in itself too. Because a lot of times people fall down and don't never get up. But baby, you get yourself back up. And look at you, got your hair all pretty, and then makeup on. Do that. I do that because when you stay in the bed and you end up getting depressed. Forget that.
I do want to add one more thing.
For a minute.
My own personal, my marriage before this marriage here. When I decided that I wasn't going to stay, I was going to go ahead and get a divorce and leave him. I said I'm never getting married again because this man cheated on me out. When I got married, I said I was going to be married for the rest of, till death do us part. I met my vows, okay, and I just knew, I'm never getting married again. And I thought about that thing when I said, you know what? Wait a minute. I was a good one.
Yeah.
Why should I punish myself from something?
Right.
Because of what he did. Why should I take that choice away from myself because of him? And so I said, you know what? I will get married again. But I'm gonna just take my time. And I dated myself. I took myself out of town for my birthday. I dated myself. And so it was crazy when we met each other that we both were doing the same thing. We had so much similarity that was so crazy. Wow. And I had a breakup at first for real. I was like, I gave him a hard time. But I'm so glad he came in and sat down and just started talking to me to where the bricks started getting knocked out. He started chiseling at those little bricks.
I'm still chiseling.
Anyway, he started chiseling at those little bricks. Mean to me. He needy. I gotta keep him on track. Yeah, so I'm just glad that he did it. But I wasn't objective at that point. I was keeping that bitterness from putting a hold on me, it's like a jail on me, imprison me, saying I'm never getting married again. Because one experience was bad. And I felt that I shouldn't take that from myself. So allow yourself to heal, date yourself, and know that
you are worthy.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
You are worthy.
And I feel the same way you did, Juanita. I said the same. I was not going to get married again. I was going to stay single until God take me home. Honey, I thought about that thing again. I was like, no, I'm not. I said, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I said, I'm a good person. I made some mistakes, but I learned from my mistakes. So, yes. So now I put myself out there that I'm going to be available. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, I'm going to be married again because somebody gonna want me.
That's right. And date. You ain't got to settle for the first person you come across. And it's not. Don't let nobody tell you, oh, you talk to too many men or you talk to too many women. You need to date. But when you're dating, you need to be asking questions. And that was what was so wonderful about our first date. We didn't stop talking. It was question after question after question. We didn't. I mean, it was. I think that was one of the best dates I had ever. And I've been on many dates, but that was one of the best dates I had ever been on because we just didn't. I mean, we didn't want the date to end, and you could tell neither one of us wanted to end, but it had to end. We had to go home. We're separated and go to our own homes, but you anticipated getting back together because that's just how well the date went, and it was literally basically when you, like I said, we both been married before, so we basically know what we want and don't want, what we can deal with, what we can't deal with, what we can tolerate and can't tolerate. So we were able to ask each other questions and give truthful answers. And that's the main thing. Don't just answer with an answer because you want to please that person to keep them around, because that's the wrong thing to do. Because you're gonna find out the truth is gonna come out, and you might say, I got PTSD, and you might say, oh yeah, I can deal with that. And then as the time go on, you found out you can't deal with that. Okay, so now you done wasted however many years of this man's life and your life or her life, vice versa. You wasted time. When you could have at that point when they said, yes, I have it, well, that's something I don't think that I can deal with. I like you, but maybe we could just stay friends. You don't have to be nasty about it, but don't accept things that you know that you can't deal with just to have somebody in your life. That's the worst thing you can do.
Amen.
Yeah.
I agree. Thank you for your advice. And just know this video is out here. So and you help somebody. You touch me. I know you touch me. Okay. If you touch me, I know you guys somebody else out there as well, because this video is out there on the market now. It's out there. So God got this I say this on all my shows, because I believe it's true that these, God got somebody appointed just to hear this video at this particular time. You know what I'm saying? Is it real love or is it lust? You know what I'm saying? So I thank both of you guys. You guys are so wonderful. And I am gonna get back with you guys for my puppy. And his name is gonna, it's gonna be the C, right? I already got his.
She's pregnant right now. So there's a litter coming if anyone's interested in a poodle. Standard AKC registered standard poodles. They do come with papers. And she's pregnant right now. We think she's got about maybe another month to go before she has them. In May. May. And so, and then 2 months after that, then they can go. We keep them for 8 weeks because we want to make sure they're healthy, that they get their first set of shots before we let them come home. So if anybody's interested, you can contact Lisa if she doesn't mind, or you can contact me or Albert Brown, his Facebook, Juanita Glover, my Facebook. I use my maiden name. That doesn't mean I'm not married. It's just I use my maiden name because that's how people can find me if they don't know my new married, my married name. Thank you. And yeah, we got a school down here, FirstStep STNA program. If anyone's interested in STNA classes, come on down. You can call us at 440-444-1851, or our address is 506 Broadway, Lorain, Ohio, 44052. Yep, so that's how you can get a hold of us. We thank you for having us, Lisa. I was a little nervous about being on here. Say that again.
And I'll put all the information what you just said. I need you to text me the information so I can put it in my description box so people know how to contact you if they want a poodle or if they want to go to school for nurse's aid.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's wonderful. And Finest Wine Cooking. Thank you, Miss India. Thank you, Freddie, and anybody's in the bushes watching. Thank you all for tuning in, supporting the Real Table Talk show. So my next show is going to be in April, the second weekend, the second Friday of April. My couples is only on the fourth Friday. Juanita, and Albert, if you guys want to ever tune in, and usually on my second.
I would love to hear it.
Okay, and on my second Fridays, it's just me talking whatever I decide to talk about, which I will talk about on my second Friday of next month is about friendship. You know what I'm saying? Friendship, because it's a relationship channel. So regardless to whether it's a husband or wife or sister, friend. So it's gonna be about friendship on my second Friday of April. So be looking out for the video of that to be coming up. So again, like I said, thank you. Like I said, you guys keep doing what you guys doing. Stay strong. Never let nobody come to y'all, because y'all got a good marriage. Y'all is a team. Team Brown. You know what I'm saying? I see it all on your Facebook page. You know what I'm saying? So thanks again for your good advice. And I'll go back and watch this video again because y'all were throwing so much points out there. I'm ready to go write this stuff down myself because I got somebody coming to me. So I want to be ready when they come. So I'm going to go end my music. You guys welcome to stay on while the music play, or you can turn your camera off, or you can drop down whatever you want to do. Music is about 2 minutes long. So always try to start. I exit out. Hello. I done did something to it. I'm always messing up when it comes to it.
I sent you the information.
It comes to the end of my show.
Okay, that's all right.
I sent you the information.
I would say he sent you the information.
Okay. I'm gonna make sure right at the end of the show I'm gonna put it in my description box so people I got it. So people know how to contact you if they want school or they want a poodle, a standard poodle. And those standard poodles, you guys, what I love about them, do not smell. They don't smell at all. And I love them. But,
yeah, that's my baby.
So this is
babies. Okay.
Y'all see Lorain? That's That's where I'm gonna get my puppy, my new puppy from. His name's gonna be Champion, but I'm gonna call him Champ. Okay.
Okay, all right.
So you pick out me.
So Red Bear, they're brothers.
Yeah, they're gonna be brothers.
You.
Yeah, they're gonna be brothers.
Yeah, they're brothers.
But my computer, like it says, gonna go slow for some reason. So I'm just gonna end it without playing the music, you guys, because it's going slow for some reason. So it's already 9 o'clock, so we stayed a little bit past time, which is okay because we started late. Okay. Yeah. So thank you guys for coming in.
Thank everyone for
and much love to everybody.
Thank you.
Okay. Goodbye. Much love to you all.
See you. Bye bye.